So if you didn't finish the coding yet, make sure that you do now. And let's just take a quick, brief look at what we've done so far so that we understand the concept correctly. First off, I'm going to just take a look at the original code. I'm going to uncomment it out. Whoops. Uncomment it. If I can. Maybe I can't, actually. Looks like I have to manually do it to uncomment the text. Anyway, what we have here is the typical function event listener pair. We have one function here, a second function there, and then we have our two event listeners. When we do a function event listener pair, we have to make sure that we have everything correct, meaning that we have the correct function name that's matching the function name for our event listener. We have the correct object, which is being the target for the stop, and then we also have the correct object, which is the target for the event listener. So this is kind of a lot to keep track of. And as we add more functions and event listener pairs, our code really starts to get a little bit unwieldy. So that's once again why the pre-oop method has some benefits. What we're doing is encapsulating our function and event listener pair inside another function. And we're passing to the private function and event listener the objects that those functions and event listeners need in order to run. So if we look at our function, it's called myClick, and that's just a generic name. We could use click handler or anything that you like. We do need to make sure that the two match, so we do have myClick matches myClick. Now the nice thing about this is that since it's a generic name, it's very easy to identify. If you have multiple functions that are written with the pre-oop style, you can have the myClick inside each of them, and they won't have a problem with each other, because since this is a private function and private event listener of this main function, they will not be accessible by anything outside of this function. So that's called encapsulation, and that's one of the main ideas with object-oriented programming. Anyway, we also have the variables that are being passed. We have the object, which is our button, which is being passed to the event listener, and we have the object, which is our movie clip, which is being passed to the function. And we also, of course, do have one other variable which is passed, and that is the myClick. Since it's an event listener, it passes what type of event to the function. So that, of course, is the EVT there, and that's just a temporary function that has to be there. Anyway, to invoke or instantiate the main function stop_mc, all we have to do is put the name of the function and then pass to it the variables of the instances that we want to control. So we have the box anim1 stop button, which is the object here, and this box anim1 underscore mc, which is the movie clip that we are controlling. Now, if we ever needed to use this, all we have to do, or use this function again, is copy and paste that function and change the numbers or change the objects. So this could be any type of button here. This could be main stop button. And since this is the main, this is just stop, which is a global function, we could stop the main movie clip or the main timeline just by putting this. If I had a button called main button, that main button could stop the entire movie clip instead of stopping individual movie clips. So this type of coding is very, very powerful because of the fact that it's very easy to reuse lots of different ways. Now, I'm going to go ahead and remove that code because it doesn't need to be there. And in this tutorial, we have not actually changed any code. I just wanted to go through it one more time because it's so important before we go on to understand why we're actually coding this way. So in the next tutorial, what we're going to do is go through a couple more examples of how to use pre-oop coding and sending different types of variables. So save your work and go on.